Welcome to Mathotropism. Today we are going to see about lines and angles, the basic terms in them and their basic definitions. First we will see lines. A line has no endpoints. It is going to extend infinitely at both ends. So it has no starting point, neither it has an ending point. Hence it is represented by arrows at both the ends. If this line had an endpoint on one end and the other was extending infinitely, then it is called as a ray. So it is a part of a line where one side has been put a limit. Next comes the line segment. If the line had endpoints on both its ends, then it is called as the line segment. We must remember that line segment is also a part of the line where it had been extending infinitely and we put limits at either ends. So if the endpoints are represented by A and B, then we give the line segment the name AB. Next we assume that more than one lines are there and these lines are going to intersect or come to meet at a point to each other. These kind of lines are called as intersecting lines and the point where they meet up is called as the point of intersection. We can see that the distance between the lines go on decreasing till they meet at the middle, and again they will increase beyond the point of intersection. So the distance from any point on one line to the other line is going to vary compared to the point next to it. The distance between the lines is never going to remain the same. Assume there are lines which will never meet. That means the distance is neither going to increase nor decrease, but it is going to remain the same. If this distance remains the same, then these kind of lines are called as parallel lines. They will never meet up, just like the tracks of the railway line. Even if we see lines that look as if they are not touching each other, when we draw them on a book, the distance is actually reducing, and if you extend these lines beyond the book, you will find that they meet any point between the book and infinity. So they will certainly meet up. These kind of lines are still intersecting lines. But if the distance is never going to remain the same all throughout, then those kind of lines are only parallel lines. And to find that common distance, you need to drop a perpendicular from any point on one line to the other. This distance will be the shortest distance between the lines and it will be maintained throughout. Next we will be seeing about angles. If two rays have a common endpoint, then they form an angle. The two rays are called as the arms of the angle and the common endpoint is called as the vertex of the angle. And the amount of turn the ray takes with respect to another ray is called as the measure of the angle or the angle measure. Next we will see different types of angles which two rays can form. For that, imagine a clock and assume that the shorthand is at one point. This is like one arm of the ray angle. And the long hand is going to traverse a path from 12 to 1 to 2 till again back to 12. So it is going to take a 360-degree turn starting from 12 and coming back again to 12. So this long hand is like the other arm of the angle. So we will be now naming the different angles or the turns, amount of turns which the angle ray takes. First one is the acute angle. Rather 0 degree is the first, which is the 0 angle. Next comes the acute angle, where the angle whose measure is between 0 degree and 90 degree is called as the acute angle. So it means that the value of x can be anywhere between 1 and 99. Next we come to the right angle. When the measure of the angle is exactly 90 degree, then it is called as the right angle. It is represented by a small square at the vertex. After the right angle comes the obtuse angle, in which the arm of the angle goes beyond the 90 degree line towards the opposite side of the other ray. Here the measure is going to be between 90 degree and 180 degree, which means x can take the value from 91 to 179 degree. After the obtuse angle is the straight angle. When the measure of the angle is exactly 180 degree, then it is called as the straight angle. It is just like if we put a point on a straight line and try to measure the angle between both the ends of the straight line, it will be exactly 180. Hence, this is called as the straight angle. Next is the reflex angle, where the measure of the angle is between 180 to 360 degree. It means x can take a value from 181 degree to 359 degree. Now 360 degree coincides with my original position of 0 degree. So both my 0 degree and 360 degree rays will coincide. Till now we have seen a single angle. Let us now consider two angles at a time. If two angles are such that they add up to 90 degree, then these angles are called as complementary angles. Here we can see that the angle of measure x and another angle of measure y. If it was such that x plus y is equal to 90 degree, then these two angles are called as complementary angles. So for example, if x is 30 degree and y is 60 degree, then 30 plus 60 gives me 90. So we can call 30 degree angle and 60 degree angle as complementary angles. Similar to the complementary angles, we have supplementary angles where the measure adds up to 180 degree. So here if we see, if x is 150 and y is 30, then x plus y is equal to 180 degree. Hence 150 degree angle and 30 degree angle are called as supplementary angles. Next we will be seeing about adjacent angles. These are angles which have common arm and a common vertex. If we see the figure, BC is common to both angles ABC and CBD. Both have the common vertex B, and ray AB and ray BD are on the opposite sides of the common ray BC. These kind of angles are hence called as adjacent angles, or just to remember it easily, back-to-back angles. When writing the name of the angles, we need to start from one end of the angle, go to the common vertex and then to the other end. So when we had considered the rays AB and BC, let us start from A, then we will go to B and finally to the other end of the ray C. So we write the angle's name as ABC. It can also be started the other way around. So if we start from C, next we write B and then go to A. So if we write ABC or CBA, both are the same. So here in this diagram we have two angles, angle ABC and angle CBD. Let us assume their measures as X and Y. Now what will be the total angle formed? The total angle formed between the non-common arms will be angle ABC plus angle CBD. So which is nothing but X plus Y. Now to name this angle, the non-common arms, again you start from one end point and go to the other through the vertex. So if we start from A, then comes the vertex B and the other end D. So the angle X plus Y will be named as angle ABD. Next we will see about the linear pair of angles. If two adjacent angles, their measures add up to 180 degree, then they are called as a linear pair of angles. It means what? That the non-common arms are at exactly 180 degree to each other. So those kind of angles which are or such that the common arm is in between a straight line, then it is called as a linear pair. Finally, we see about vertically opposite angles. These are the angles formed from two intersecting lines. The opposite angles to the intersecting line are called as the vertically opposite angles. So if we see the lines AB and CD, let us assume that the point of intersection is O, then angle AOC will be equal to angle BOD. Remember, we can also say AOC as COA and similarly BOD as DOB. The way in which, the direction in which we name the ray or the angle is irrelevant. So here we have given both our measure X. Similarly, the other set of angles which are vertically opposite angles are the COB and AOD. Always the vertically opposite angles are going to be equal. Thank you.